Welcome back to the Leeds United Career Mode. Today we crack back on. We are back to business. Appreciate your patience in waiting for the next episode of this save. If you didn't see on social media, we had a baby. So I've been on paternity leave for a couple of weeks, just making sure that mother and child are settled in well back at home after getting back from the hospital. And now I'm back to work. So let's get back to business here in the Leeds United save and also in the Premier League. Do drop the video a like. I'd very much appreciate it indeed. It would help kickstart things back on the channel as well if we could get the content pushed to as many people as possible. Obviously, slight worries when you're out of action on YouTube for a couple of weeks because the algorithm tends to poop on you. So if you guys could be very helpful indeed and drop the video a like and leave a comment, I'd very much appreciate it. You left your comments in numbers in the last episode. We are looking to loan in a centre-back, buy a full-back and loan in a winger. And we had a number of options on the shortlist. In fact, the majority of those options were quite popular with you guys. There was some talk about maybe in the right back front, because the board want an objective of a crucial defender, I'm pretty sure it was. Where was it? One crucial defender. We were looking to buy a fullback. Now, initially my intention was not to replace Drama, but with that crucial fullback requirement, I would look to buy a fullback that is better than Drama. And initially, it would make sense to sign someone that is aging that we could bring in to take on that first team spot and that would also take the crucial role as well. Trippier was a very popular option. That pace though, and the likelihood that it would significantly decline yet further mean that I probably can't do that. Sergi Roberto was another option, which is also doable, I agree. Wan-Bissaka is not really the aging go-to and at Manchester United, so I wanted to show that I'd seen it, but with us being Leeds, signing players from Man United is probably a bit of a no-go. The very popular option that was already on the shortlist that would come in as a starter, not necessarily massively stepping on from Cody Drama, is actually Milan Van Ewijk from Coventry. 4 play styles, jockey, intercept, flare and long throw, look good. He's a bit quick. He's got good jumping, good stamina as well. How tall is he? 5'9". Okay, so the jumping's not massively important, but with room to grow and 77 rated already, would come in and start. So I think I'm going to try and get Van Ewijk as my permanent right back. We're also going to look to loan a centre-back, and the most popular option really was Callum Doyle from Manchester City. We're looking for a backup centre-back, of course, not a starter. Leo Erstegar is also an option at Napoli if they'd be willing to let him come to me, and with a couple of other options as well that we could potentially look to loan in another Premier League player potentially. And then with regards to winger position, it's a bit more intriguing because I was looking to loan someone, but there was also quite a call to buy permanently a former Leeds player that we had on the shortlist already. Jack Clark actually was part of the Leeds United save that we did on FIFA 20. I think it was part of that save anyway. Pretty sure it was part of that save. At Sunderland now, and actually, he might have just moved to Tottenham as we started that Leeds save. I can't quite recall, but 76 rated is certainly good enough to come in and do a job in the squad. Not to start ahead of Somerville on Nonto, but absolutely he could join the gang. So I might look to buy Jack Clark and slightly alter our previous plan of loaning in a winger. Does mean that Philogene will take a step back and we won't go for him, but who knows what will happen throughout the rest of the save. So they're my transfer plans at this stage. Loan Callum Doyle, buy Milan Van Ewijk, buy Jack Clark, and then we'll take it one step at a time from there. No further plans to make any other changes to the starting lineup or purchase anyone else, but of course, if we get bids, we will potentially consider them. There are a handful of players, though, that we're looking to not sell at all, regardless of who comes in for them. And with Leeds having had a takeover in real life and having strong financial backing, and knowing that, quite frankly, a lot of the players want to stay, we'll probably be rejecting most bids. Ruter comes into the starting line, though, ahead of Joe Gelhardt, because Ruter has been fantastic for Leeds in real life recently. You guys called for that to happen. So we will start the Premier League season today We'll have Aston Villa away and Tottenham at home. Not the easiest of starts to life in the Premier League. And then we'll push into the rest of the season. After that, we'll have, of course, transfer deadline day along the way and let you guys know what the situation is with the Patreon players as well. Speaking of Patreon, thank you to Jake, Seb and Robin for joining the Patreon. Very much appreciate it. Seb, you are in the game already now, and we'll update you at the end of the episode as well with regards to everybody else too. And Robin, if you could message me on Patreon and also leave your comment on the post, that'd be great, and I can get you involved. And rather than have 3 names up there, considering you guys have been so supportive over the past couple of weeks with all of the messages of love and support with the baby situation, everyone gets a thank you today up on the board behind me. Right, we know what we want to do. I'm going to go and buy multiple people, and then we'll go and play Villa and hope that we might just be good enough to stay up. £16.6 million. Milan Van Eyck is going to come to the Premier League with Leeds United, not with Coventry City. Currently, presumably not on a massive deal at the Rico at this particular moment in time. To be fair, actually, 29.5 grand is a really sizable contract for Championship level. But the 4-year deal will suit very well indeed. No release clause suits me very well indeed. And actually is willing to take a wage cut. Welcome to the club, Milan. We have ourselves a new right back. Right then, 2 more. Right, centre-back wise, I would like to loan... Where are you? I would like to loan Callum Doyle from Manchester City. And they are willing to let him come, which is very good news. Which is 2 basic terms. A one-year loan would suit us down to the ground for life in the Premier League. Quite happy with paying 60% of his wages as well. That, with Pep Guardiola, is a particularly straightforward deal. And he's actually pretty good technically too. 74 stand tackle, 75 slide. Good in the pass, good ball control. I'd probably rate him slightly higher than 73 to be completely honest. But it is what it is. 73 is what he is. And hopefully that deal will get done in the not too distant future in the next couple of days. Right, now then, time for option number 3. Jack Clark, can we bring you back to Leeds United? Right, 30 million. Will they let me have him for valuation? 14.1. That's pretty straightforward, I think. Jack Clark's going to come in from Sunderland and come back to Leeds United, where he started his career. It was confirmed for me in the live chat that he was indeed part of the Tottenham squad by the time we started the Leeds United save on FIFA 20. So it would actually be my first time using Jack Clark here at Leeds, which would be great. He's on 25 grand at the moment. I'll offer him 30 and a £250,000 signing on bonus. And he should sign that. He should be very happy with it. And indeed he will. And indeed he is. Right, that's my 3 signings done. Now at this stage, I'm not planning on doing anything else. But obviously, that may well change as we progress through the remaining 3 weeks of this summer transfer window. Deal done. Callum Doyle in on loan for a year. We'll have to look to utilise him relatively frequently to ensure that they don't recall him. But we've got some other youngsters that we can send out on loan, and that's exactly what we're doing. But Doyle and Cresswell are going to be my go-to backup centre-backs. And like we say, it's just for squad depth more so than anything else here with Doyle. But obviously, we would like to utilise him to ensure that he stays for the full season, so we will try and do that. At the moment, more youngsters going out on loan. We've got plenty of youngsters in the squad at the minute. Stokes looks like he's going to be very, very good, but at present still only 15, so I can't call him up. There are some others that are slightly high rated. Banks 80 to 90 potential, so actually I could promote him to the senior team and loan him out. James Riley looks like he could be half decent, although again he's going to need some development. Some not quite as high potential as others though. We'll wait and see what we can get from scout reports. Youth scout reports in this season though, and hopefully those other players that have come in on loan will be able to, not come in on loan, come up from the youth system, will be able to go out on loan and get themselves some first team football and grow quite considerably. Hamburg would like to loan Sonny Perkins. I am open to that now that we've brought Jack Clark in. Sonny Perkins will go out on loan again. At least that's the anticipation anyway. And now Middlesbrough would like Sonny Perkins as well. Now, Middlesbrough had Sam Greenwood on loan last season, and he was very good for them. Extremely good, actually. One of the top goal scorers in the entire division with 20. Wolves have bid for Cody Drama, but I'm not looking to sell Cody at the moment. He's still going to be my backup or rotation fullback. And with Aston Villa away on the horizon, it is going to be, there you go, loan deal for one of those youngsters. Or newer youngsters. It's going to be an intriguing first couple of games at Premier League level. Aston Villa away is quite the welcome to life at this level. Bid from Meslier from Galatasaray, absolutely not. And a bid from Sonny Perkins. Now, Hamburg have agreed the 1-year deal, but Middlesbrough did not want to solely loan him. They wanted a loan to buy, and they were not intrigued on only having him for 1 year only. James Riley on loan. It's another one of the youngsters going out as well. So far, so good for this transfer window. I'm very pleased indeed. We have to wait and see how well these players actually play when they get on the pitch. He looked tiny. Nathan Fletcher going to El Dense. I think that's Spain. Pretty sure that's Spain. With Aston Villa now away on the day. Wolves have offered me Sasha Kalajic plus some money for Meslier, but that's going to be a no. You can go to Sparta Rotterdam or Vancouver Whitecaps. It's entirely up to you. Riley's going to go to Catanzo most likely, and Leicester have bid for Wagner. That's a no. Leicester came up with us, of course, last season. They challenged us all the way to the final day for the title in the Championship, but we eventually came out on top. And now we'll find out who's going to come out on top in the Premier League. Aston Villa's starting lineup: Martinez, Cash, Pau Torres, Concert, Alex Moreno, Buendia, Kamara, Douglas Luiz and Barry on the left, with Duran and Watkins up top. Luca Digne on the bench. Diaby on the bench as well. Rafa, Tielemans, Diego Carlos. I might start FC25 at Aston Villa. You know, it would be an idea for a first save, wouldn't it? Certainly. Well, go to a press conference, my first time at Premier League level.
Thanks for
and then we'll play our first game at Premier League level.
Yep.
Free kick for Aston Villa. A few minutes in to our first game at Premier League level. Ollie Watkins, a lovely little reverse ball, and Louis Barry's shot is deflected off Joe Rodon. Out for a corner kick. Louis Barry, of course, not Gareth Barry, at Aston Villa, now long retired. Emi Buendia. Just run straight into Ethan Ampadu, and I've got absolutely nowhere to go, but thankfully he's got the strength to get away from one. Batter through a second, but still not come away with a football. Moreno to Buendia. Oh, I lunged for it there, got nowhere near it. Now Ollie Watkins is in a good spot. And this is going to be 1-0, isn't it? Aston Villa lead at Villa Park. Ollie Watkins is banging form in real life. And he's starting this season just the same. Great. And Ruter. Ampadu. And Nonto. Continually I see the calls for Nonto and Somerville to be changed to right and left mid, just to up their overall ratings, but I don't feel the need to at the moment. Right now, if I up their overall ratings by doing that, I'm just more likely to have big teams bid for them to try and take them away from me. And it's not going to change the way that they play, so I'm quite happy for them to stay at right mid and left mid rather than change to winger. Is Douglas Luiz actually going to commit to doing anything with the ball, or is he just going to keep jogging in a straight line and fool me by doing things, or by doing so? Uh-oh. Ollie Watkins and John Duran. Meslier with a smart save. Very nearly 2-0 Villa there. Thankfully, my goalkeeper makes the stop this time. I haven't really gotten out my own half yet, so let's do some attacking, shall we? All right, that went well. Getting absolutely dominated so far here at Leeds United. 62% possession for Aston Villa. 3 shots to my none. Pass accuracy is not great for me. And, well, of the 38% possession, it's no surprise that my passes attempted is much lower. Need better in the second half. We know we've got better in us. We just need to actually pull it out the bag now. And it's just occurred to me that my camera's in the wrong place. Well done, Ches. Not really much room to do anything offensively so far. Benevike is a quick boy, so we can utilise that pace. How's his crossing? Not bad. Pirou! First chance arrives. It's gone wide, but no surprises that it's Joel Pirou that has the effort. Wide of the target, though. Crescencio Somerville. Down and out. Hopefully not for long, but the expectation is probably either broken toe or ACL. He is holding his knee rather ominously. Just as well, we bought Jack Clark then, isn't it, really? Because the man that we brought into... Oh, what's a crunch? the man that we brought in to be a sub might actually get the majority of the season starting on the left-hand side now. Thanks, Ollie Watkins, for giving me space to give that back to you. And actually, you've just given it straight back to me by being in the bloody way. Now then, can we, with some of the backup brigade, find our way back into this game? Rute looking for Jack Clark. Great touch. Ball for Nonto. Nonto, bit of space. Saved by Emi Martinez. Alex Moreno looking to get away down the left-hand side here. The left-back didn't quite get the pass off correctly, but found the man he wanted to. Here's John Duran now. Douglas Luiz and Alex Moreno linking up well. Douglas Luiz has quite the record at Villa Park in terms of goal scoring this season. He got like 6 or 7 games in a row at Villa Park, bagging at least 1 goal. Duran, Ollie Watkins. He loves to score goals at Villa Park. He's got 2 today. That's a wonderful left-footed strike. 70th minute. Villa double the advantage. We are going to lose on our return to the Premier League. But actually, I bet a number of you are quite glad about that, because you don't want me to do as well in the Championship as we did and continue that into the Premier League. And on this evidence, it doesn't look like we will be. Anevite, Nonto. Holy Christ. Yeah, that would have been a death sentence if we made contact there. That was outrageous. Nonto into Joel Peru. Is actually coming off the pitch momentarily. Rute. Good save by Emi. And Peru forces the keeper into a punch that was quite awkward and uncomfortable for him. Peru off. Rute up to striker. Joe Gelhardt on at cam now. Nonto with this delivery. Pascal Strauch is up. That's going to fall to Jack Clark. Unfortunately, his header doesn't fall for a teammate. Ezri Konsa will get rid of it for Aston Villa, looking for a consolation goal at the very least. But doesn't look likely of coming so far. And with Tottenham as the next game, I don't know as our welcome to the Premier League is going to get any less brutal at this rate. And Purdue. Nice around the corner to Rute. Nonto's on the run. Rute could throw Gelhardt a bone through the middle though. And he's past Ezri Konsa. Needs to support here, which he has. And, oh, what a move this could be. It was a decent move. It hasn't ended in a goal. It could yet, though. No, not the case. 4 minutes to go. Much better showing in the second half, which is actually quite relieving, actually, after doing pretty much nothing in the first, to have fought hard in this second and had some good chances, but just not quite the luck to get a goal. We hopefully will be okay this season in the Premier League. Villa are obviously one of the top few sides, and we've battled hard. And I'm sure against some of the lesser sides in the Premier League, we will pick up points this season. The board only want mid-table, and we're very much capable of doing that with the squad we've got and the potential in the squad that we've got. Because players will grow, and even if we're not quite good enough at this stage of the season, come the latter stages of the season, we should be a bit better. Cut this back, and Gelhardt off the bench. Still doesn't score a goal to get one back for us here at Villa Park, so we will lose by 2-0. But that's okay. That's okay. The only real downside of that is that we're probably now going to lose Crescencio for quite a while. Leicester 3, Brighton 1. Leicester return to the Premier League with a win. We do not. We'll be realistic about Jack Clark's return to the side, but it's going to take time for Van Everbeek to settle as well. He was decent though in that game. We've got a plan B. Some of it just said 2 months there, actually. So we might be okay. It is a broken elbow. Ow. And it's 2 months only for Somerville, which is better than it certainly could have been. So Somerville will drop to the bench and Jack Clark will now start. Actually, Dan James? No, we will go Jack Clark. Why not? So for the time being, Somerville is out of action. Not to worry. Now, it is the tradition, or at least the habit on the channel, to simulate in our first season at Premier League level, when getting promoted from the league below, to simulate the Big Six. Both Manchester sides, Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea. Purely to try and get more realistic results, because, as you guys are well aware, playing the game yourselves, sometimes the big sides don't play the way that they should, and they're a bit too easy to play against. Now, I was going to play Tottenham on this occasion because it was the only other game, but we have now had a Carabao Cup game scheduled against Bournemouth, so we will now go and simulate the game against Spurs and then play Bournemouth in the Cup before we get to transfer deadline day. Tottenham, next. Tottenham won on opening day in the Premier League, and you can see their starting lineup there. Jonathan Tah in the defensive line is really the only new face, isn't it? Oh, Leeds actually up top at striker. Does Leeds play for Spurs in real life? I think he does, doesn't he? Plays at Spurs for us in the player career mode. Bergvall is a signing we made in this save to replicate real life as well. So that's a strong side. Very much expecting to probably lose this game. I'm not sure actually how good Heung-min Son might be. You know, we're only second season, aren't we? So yeah, he's probably still be pretty damn good. All right, sweet. Time for us to probably go and lose to Tottenham, but I need to change my top still, don't I? We will sim this one though, as we always do in the first season of the Premier League, as we say against the Big Six. Some contention in live chat as to whether Chelsea still count for Big Six, but given Chelsea's quality of player in-game, attribute-wise, and the financial power they have in-game, I think we'll still class Chelsea as top 6 for the time being, anyway. Kulusevski down the line to Bergvall immediately. I don't know how good Bergvall is in-game. Not a player I was familiar with at all when Tottenham signed him IRL, and I can't say as that familiarity has really grown at all since, in all honesty. But oh, it could have been a great counter-attack there with Jack Clark breaking away on the left-hand side. Roden, former Tottenham player, of course. And, well, Jack Clark, former Tottenham player, of course. Peru to Jorginho Ruter. Lovely turn, and he could play through Jack Clark against his former team. Vicario with the save. Nonto cuts it back. And Ampadu! And Ampadu! Oh, no. It's over. Ampadu. Gray and Ruter. Peru there in front of him. Can he find the ball? No, but he has found Kai Wagner out wide. And we saw Wagner and Peru link up to devastating effect in the season finale a couple of episodes ago. Here's Jack Clark now in the box. He's already had one shot. Now he's had two, but there haven't been any goals yet in this game so far. We were decent in the second half against Villa. We've been decent in the first half against Tottenham, but 0-0 here. Archie Gray forced himself wide. Wagner. Wagner still. Wagner still. Clark! Big save by Vicario. Giant save by Vicario to keep Tottenham at level terms. Wagner. He might go for goal. Archie Gray. I thought Jack Clark was going to score there. He's been the best player on the pitch in a white Leeds shirt so far, and he's still tormenting this Leeds United backline. Sorry, this Tottenham Hotspur backline. Wagner, that hit Porro's hand just outside the box. It will be a free kick. Can we do anything from the set piece? I've not made any changes yet. We will be rotating a little bit for the game against Bournemouth in the Cup, obviously, and Vicario flattens two people to ensure he gets to that. Heung-min Son and Maddison, are they going to win it late on here, Tottenham? I don't feel like they deserve to get all 3 points. We've fought very hard to try and earn the clean sheet we have, and what looks like to be the clean sheet we'll keep by the end of the game as well. Our first Premier League point looks like it's potentially on the way, and hopefully progression in the Carabao Cup as well. Could it be more than 1 point in the Premier League? Dan James in the box. Yes, it will be! 91st minute, the substitute makes the impact, comes straight across to celebrate with his manager. Spursy, 1-0 win for Leeds United at home against Tottenham Hotspur. Dan James has paced too much. Vicario's had a very good game, but we've been marching on together all afternoon, and we'll march on towards 3 points in the Prem. That's very much a near post, goalkeeper dives the wrong way. That's a bit rubbish. No, FC FIFA type goal, but we don't care. Pape Sarr driving on. Son's going to have to come forward, but they're going backwards, and the whistle will go. That will be 3 points for Leeds United. Thank you very much. We are off the mark. So much for the whole sim the top 6 and get a realistic result. To be fair, it was a very difficult game. Very even game, and either side could have won it. It's Leeds to get the 3 points. And we'll head on into the game against Bournemouth now in the Cup in high spirits, and hopefully start to put together a little bit of a winning run if we can. Right, Bournemouth have lost both of their opening games so far this season. Those being in the Premier League, of course. This, the Carabao Cup. They're missing Fevre through injury, but it's not a massively strong side. Enes Unal scored his first goal for the club in real life this past weekend. We'll try and keep him quiet today if we can. Clover, Max Aarons, Tyler Adams in the midfield, former Leeds United player, of course. We'll see what we can do against Bournemouth. I am going to rotate, though, as you might well imagine, for the Carabao Cup to ensure that a number of players get some first-team football and keep their morale up. And most importantly, hopefully, we get some good rotation and good growth out of a number of different players in this squad as well. So it is key to keep the squad rotating around. And we will try and do exactly that and get the result still. Dan James into Gelhardt is a pretty heavily rotated team. Might even be a full change to the 11, actually, for this particular fixture. And, well, if Bournemouth play like that, we can probably field a fully rotated 11 and still get a decent result. Greenwood getting his first chance for me in this entire save after being out on loan in Season 1 and having that aforementioned really good loan spell at Middlesbrough. We bagged plenty of goals in the league, in the Championship. Bamford is still here for the time being. I wasn't sure whether to sell him or keep him. And generally the consensus in the comment section was to sell, but we haven't yet had any interest. So can't sell a man that nobody wants to buy is probably the situation we're in at the moment with Patrick Bamford. But whilst he's here, he'll still play a part. Hopefully that part might be a goal in the Carabao Cup. Enes Unal cuts that back, but Jamie Shackleton does very well indeed. And we will half clear it. And Klesser makes a very good save. Like that. There we go. Lovely little dink. Completely taken out loads of Bournemouth players from the game. Bamford will look for the run of Dan James. Now, he's done it once on one side so far today. He'll do it again this side. I'll go cross goal this time, and Travers with a great reaction save. Can't win the header with Bamford. Will win the header with Greenwood. Dan James couldn't find Patrick Bamford with a secondary pass. We'll stay at 0-0. That's the best opportunity we've seen so far. Didn't really want to try and replicate the BS goal that we got against Tottenham, so I went for a cross goal instead, and the keeper was equal to it. Sam Greenwood. It's loose, actually, from Greenwood. Wasn't as good a pass as it need be. Ahmed Traore finds Enes Unal, finds Marcondes. Had Bournemouth lead. The South Coast side in front against the West Yorkshire team. And it was well worked, but all from a Sam Greenwood poor pass. Good movement here, and just a good move. Not a spectacular finish, but good enough. Jeez, what a pump. Bamford's going to get there too. And it's a great header out to Cody Drama. Claesson, all this coming from Claesson's ball, and Bamford's in. Patrick Bamford for Leeds United. Can't quite win that header, nor get to the loose ball. We will trail at half-time, but we've had the chances to be at least on the score sheet, if not maybe even in front in this game, in this first half. Giving as good as we're getting against another Premier League side. Shackleton not really with much room there, so had to play the ball off quickly. Dan James equally. Not got much room. Bournemouth kind of clogging up the middle of the pitch right now, but Gruev will find Bamford, and he's in on his left here. Patrick Bamford! Travers makes another good save. Bournemouth having to rely on their goalkeeper here to keep their clean sheet intact and keep them in front in this game. We've been better in this game than any of the previous two, but we are still trailing, unfortunately, despite that fact. Might even be by 2 again. Hamid Traore, Enes Unal. It is by 2 again. Unal. Marcondes. Cresswell sticks a toe in. Doyle does too. And we get the ball away. Gelhardt. James. Make me run, please, Patrick. Not that way. Why would you run into the space that you know Dan James is going to go into? Arriving here is Joe Gelhardt. We have one back. Substitutes on the way. Bamford, who gets the assist, now subbed off. Sam Greenwood also going to leave the field of play, as is Dan James actually on the right-hand side too. So a number of the players involved in that goal actually not playing now. But we get one back. The first goal that I've scored in the Premier League season against the Premier League side is Joe Gelhardt. But I haven't personally yet scored a Premier League goal. That will have to wait for tomorrow. At least we hope that comes tomorrow. If I don't score in tomorrow's episode as well, then we really are having a tough start to the Premier League season. Sorry, Jack Clark looking to cut this back, and I've messed the pass up. We could have instantaneously gotten ourselves back to 2-2 from 2-0 down, but not yet. Gruev. See, that's really nicely done by Gruev. Here's Jack Clark. Holds off the defender really well. Looking for the through ball. Quick ball inside. Joe Gelhardt. Jorginho Rutter. Jamie Shackleton. We did everything right. Until the finish. We could have, in the last minute, taken it to penalties. But Jamie Shackleton fluffed his lines. He ran, Jamie Shackleton, but on this occasion he did not finish and score the late goal. We will lose and we'll be out of the Carabao Cup. And there goes some opportunities for fringe players to play more football this year. We will still end up having to rotate the squad quite a bit, I'm sure. But would have been nice to go through on this particular occasion in the Cup. But out we go, and to transfer deadline day we head next. Here we are then on transfer deadline day. Rumours everywhere, including a number of Premier League sides, but the biggest deal so far is Romelu Lukaku leaving the Premier League to go to Borussia Dortmund for £36.6 million. Alexander Golovin and Gonzalo Montiel also moving within transfer deadline day so far. We'll wait and see if there are any other big deals. Cucurella has gone to Sevilla, so Chelsea selling someone else here on deadline day. Andreas Christensen, a former Chelsea player, now moving to go to Manchester United from Barcelona. Ake might be going to Brighton, apparently. Trippier to Arsenal would be an intriguing one, considering we turned down the option of signing Kieran Trippier in this save. AC Milan have come in for Pascal Struijk. Now, as my captain, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say we are in a position where, as a club, we are able to fight off the attentions of other big clubs at this moment in time. Financially, we're in a very sound position. He's my club captain. I think Pascal Struijk stays. With 6 hours to go on deadline day, I've no interest in accepting a bid like that, if I'm completely honest. Bryce Mendes has gone to Wolfsburg. Fabio Moretti to Paris Saint-Germain. Still no other big number one deal at this stage. Koen Casteels might be making his way to the Premier League. Similarly, Antoine Griezmann. Newcastle have bid for Nonto, but we will keep Nonto at the club as well. Again, not wanting to just sell for the sake of selling in this save. We have the opportunity to maintain the squad, and I would like to do that. Wow. 56 million for an ageing Antoine Griezmann is a lot of money, Tottenham. That's not very Daniel Levy-esque, that deal, I don't think. Bernardo Silva to Manchester United. Bernardo Silva from Manchester City to Juventus is a potential. Aston Villa now come in for Nonto, but even if we did want to accept that deal, it wouldn't go through in time. But we don't want to accept the deal anyway. So at the end of transfer deadline day, that is where we sit. Francisco Conceição has gone to Inter from Ajax, but the biggest transfer deals in this save so far, in this window, are as you see them here. Wow. Ronald Araujo, 104 million. Bayern Munich. Trent to PSG. Saliba to PSG. Tchouaméni to Manchester United. Cancelo to Atleti. Nunez to Atleti. Liverpool gutting themselves. Dybala to Arsenal. Griezmann to Spurs, as we saw. Mikel Merino, Barcelona as well. Felix, Bayern Munich. Mancini to Newcastle. Christensen, Man United. Antonio Silva to PSV. That's an intriguing one, considering his potential. Fratesi Bilbao. Zay Emery is a player that has great potential, as you guys are well aware. Savio, I don't know anything about Savio. He's gone to Atalanta. Riquelme to Leicester. Bentancur to Newcastle. Any intriguing ones in? Arsenal got a new goalkeeper. But Gittins to Torino. Is it Guido Rodriguez? Guido Rodriguez to Tottenham. Some surprising deals in there. Unexpected ones as well, to say the least. Zinchenko to West Ham, Brian Brobby to Mallorca, Matthijs Tel to Real Madrid. They've also signed Branthwaite from Everton, Real Madrid. So building for the future. Jacob Ramsey goes to Lens as well from Aston Villa. Any other Premier League-esque deals? Fabio Vieira leaves. Charles Ketelara, his potential has been kind of killed recently in the last series or so of the game. Milenkovic goes to Villarreal. Harvey Elliott to Real Sociedad. Liverpool are just selling everyone, it seems. Baffling. We've not had a great window there, Liverpool. Not had a great window at all. In the Premier League, after 2 games, we sit 14th. But with the opportunity to pick up points against Crystal Palace in the first game of tomorrow's episode, we hope to maybe not be 14th for long. Aston Villa lead the way, the side that beat us by 2-0 in the opening game of the season. Liverpool, despite selling all of their players, are still 5th. Crystal Palace, actually, that side we do play in this next game. They won their opening 2 and they're sat 6th at the moment and could go joint top if they beat me. We hope they don't, but hopefully you guys will join me for that one tomorrow. Again, continued reiteration of my thank you for your support and for your continued patience in waiting for the return of content. Content is back! Of course, with me being me, I've gone and recorded my outro and then forgot to do the Patreon players. So let's whack this in here. I'll splice it in. Those of you on the Patreon, some of you have moved, some of you have not. The majority no at this stage. Everybody, though, is growing very well indeed. If you want to see your individual stats in full detail, do come across and join me on stream where you can see them and ask, and I'll show you in more detail. But at the moment, we have had some free agent players signed. We have had some free agent players not signed. And at the moment, the only real movements have been regarding those free agent players. Of course, we had a loan last year when Andrew went from Bolton to Tyrrell, but he stayed at Bolton. Some of the free agent signings are those that have been a free agent and are still a free agent. Some of the free agent signings are those that have been released by their first club at the end of Season 1 and then signed by someone else throughout the course of the beginning of the summer of Season 2. As you can see there with Ben moving to Barcelona. Released by Portsmouth, signed by Barcelona. How's that for a journey? And then some free agents have just been straight up signed, like Dara going to Juventus. The other moves, Justin Barrett released by Liverpool, signed by AC Milan. We've seen Matthew Davison signed for Tottenham. We've seen Michael Schillo signed for Al Hazem. And then released by Anderlecht, signed by Atletico Madrid. I'm sure Yander won't be too disappointed at that. New addition, Sebastian Anderson at Charlton still, and Robin, still need your details, pal, and then we can add you into the mix as well. But that is all of the Patreon players. Again, feel free to pause or have a closer look on stream. Come and join me and I can show you your players' details in more detail, basically. But I'm going to either cut back to where I was in my outro or just end the video here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.